Hey there, thought I'd make this video on the Dodge Ram 2007 1500. I know there's a lot of issues with the HVAC system and that the blend doors or recirculation doors or mode 1 and mode 2 doors fail on these trucks. And I've had this truck for 6 years now and mine just failed. I've got mode 1 and mode 2 has failed. So what I did was, this is a workaround. Instead of paying, right now it's a week before Christmas, it's minus 10. I'm in Canada, so it's minus 10 Celsius right now. Not that cold yet, but as a workaround, instead of paying, $400 or $500 at the to get the parts alone, or $1,500 to $3,000 at the shop, I thought I'd do a quick fix to get me through the winter. And then once the spring comes, I'll do the job properly and get it replaced. I just didn't want to go through the trouble of ripping apart the dash. I did start that, and you get into an issue where maybe the heater core is gone as well, or the evap for the AC. So I thought, you know what? I've got heat's coming out of the. So the main issue with this is that I get heat through the vents only. If I put it to defrost or to the foot in the defrost, it doesn't matter, because what's happened is the blend door, the little pivot knob that turns the door to direct the heat has broken. And a very common issue with the Dodge Rams for this generation. There's dozens of YouTube videos on this, and you've got guys kind of hacking into the HVAC box with a Dremel to replace the doors and all that. But the right way is to actually take the dash apart and to pull the HVAC box out and replace the doors. But like I said, for the fix right now, I'm getting heat, solid good heat from all 4 vents. So I thought, let me try something different, kind of a little hack, as my kids call it. Is I redirected the heat from 2 of the vents to the defrost. And like I said, we had a minus 10 day, and it was able to defrost the window with no problem. So I'll show you what I did just as a temporary fix. It cost me $10 at the hardware store. And what I ended up doing is, if I zoom out a little bit, I can't really zoom out much more, but I bought some dryer vent, some aluminum dryer vent. So kind of this stuff right here, fairly cheap. It's 4-inch aluminum pipe hose, whatever you want to call it. And I bought some weather stripping. And what I did is I cut the weather stripping and I put it around the on the edge of the one end to make a seal. And obviously this is very flexible. You can kind of contort it to fit your vent. And what I ended up doing was, I'll show you here, I've attached the dryer hose to my open vent. So here's my vent here. I wanted to do this one, but the gear shift is in the way. But it basically, I attach the hose directly onto the vent. I didn't use any screws or anything. So the foam acts as a kind of prevents the heat from escaping, and then I used some proper aluminum duct tape to seal around the outside. And then what I do is I contort the hose and bend it. I kind of squish it down a little bit, flatten it out, and what I did is I took the top part of the plastic dash off, and I was able to bungee around the hose. And then what I did, it kind of looks ugly and silly up there if you don't cover it up, so I just have a scarf wrapped around it. Actually, it's 2 purposes really. It makes it look a little, it's not obvious, kind of hides the metal pipe, but it also acts as an insulator. So once the heat does end up coming through, because the pipe is cold, it takes a little longer to heat the pipe up. But once that pipe is hot, the scarf kind of insulates a little bit. So what I ended up doing is I did the one on the right side of the radio control, and then I've also done one to the left here, a smaller one on my left vent, and I redirected it up. And you'll be surprised once you crank this up, like I said before, I don't have any issues with my fan or the heat itself. It blows out hot. This is just a means to redirect that heat that's only coming from the vents. And I had no issues at all with defrosting the window with just two defrost points, and I have the heat still coming from the vent. The feet might get a little cold, but that's not a big deal. Anyway, this will get me through the winter, and then in the spring I'll rip the dash apart and do it the right way. But if you wanted a quick fix, $10 fix just to redirect the heat, this will do the trick. All right, hope it helps. Thanks.